Lane Pendleton, 3 and 6, a freshman from Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. Wes White, a freshman from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's 22 and 5.
Immediately in on Pendleton's leg. Out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Went to Nathan Hale High School.
Watch your legs. We got
Picks up
We got two.
the takedown.
And one.
Was a state champion at Oklahoma when he was in high school at Nathan Hale. He was 32-0 as a senior and won the title for the most falls. So has pretty respectable high school credentials, and to come in as a freshman and be a starter on the Oklahoma team and be ranked, I believe, 7th in the country at this weight class is pretty good as a freshman. But he was known as a redshirt freshman. When he came in his freshman year, he didn't wrestle, but this is his first wrestling year. He's just pushing Pendleton off at shoulder level and diving right in and just picking up easy takedowns.
Two.
Maintaining control and handling Lane with a little bit of ease.
Restart. Lehigh down, stayed up. Face me.
Here's the second takedown, Larry.
One pulls down and spins around.
Okay, stayed on top.
Fans are quiet right now, Shell. They saw Lehigh's lead cut back a little bit. And there's another bow roll, goes around the back.
Two.
Another takedown. Clinic. 8-3, 8-4. 1:15 left, first period. Pendleton appearing to be defensive. If you can see, he's backing out. Now he spins around. He bumped him head to head, and I think we're going to have a real bump in the head.
Did we get a takedown there or not? It looked like he was going to signal a takedown.
The injury was in process. He popped him right in the head, in the nose or somewhere.
Looked like Pendleton was coming around.
Get up on the eye or the forehead.
I want you to sit up your waist, okay? Come on, sit up.
Let's take a look at that.
Watch the head bump. It might have happened just before that. Yeah, because he was kind of lucid at that point. It might be a cut on the eye or under the eyelid, but while we're at it, Shell, why don't we talk about a little bit of history that's made down in Swarthmore, PA today. And that would be the retirement of the wrestling coach at Swarthmore College, Gomer Davies, 36 years as head coach at Swarthmore, one of the few coaches to go that length. 36 years is an awful long time. We don't know John Reese to be going around 33, 34, so.
Larry, we'll take a look now. I think it was a knee to the head, right there.
Hello.
That's what did it.
Okay.
That's what did it right there.
That was Sandy picked that out?
Yep.
Good.
Well,
now that was a hold that Blair used to use pretty much against Mercersburg.
Right there's another view of the same injury. Bear in mind you only have a 2-minute injury time. 1.5. Seems like we've got a lot more than 1.5 already.
Except for bleeding.
Oh, and that's has to be what it is, because they've already delayed this about 3 minutes already.
So our congratulations to Gomer Davies.
We want to remind you about the EIWAs and the PIAAs that'll be coming up on Channel 39. The Eastern Finals will be presented here on Channel 39 Sunday morning, March 13 at 11 a.m. That will be from Syracuse. And then the State Wrestling Championships will follow the next week, Hershey, Pennsylvania, Sunday, March 20th, starting at 11 a.m. Right here on WLVT, Channel 39, the Eastern Championships and the State High School Championships, successive weeks, March 13 through March 20.
And while I've added, I owe Michael Slack a response, and from Hatfield, it's coming, Michael. I've just been away in Florida playing some golf, and I'm now back doing some business. So the answer will be, your request will be fulfilled, I'm sure. Shell, speaking of the PIAAs, we'll get some great coverage of it with Ted Mikesville, the morning call. I just want to point out to all the fans in the Lehigh Valley how lucky we are to have Ted doing statistics and information, and he covers wrestling beautifully, the high school wrestling, District 11, and it just makes it so nice to open up the paper and in about an hour of reading, you know everything that's going on in the state. So I want Ted to know we appreciate what he's doing. Still patching the eye of Wes White. He'll be coming out there pretty soon. There's the panning crowd, a future wrestler.
The injury, as we said, was caused by the knee going to the head of the Oklahoma State wrestler.
Had a pretty good crowd.
Pendleton was trying to come around and obviously cut, resulting in the cut. That's the reason why, as we mentioned, normally injury time 1.5 minutes. And except in the case of blood, he seems to be fine. He's just they're just trying to patch him up, and it's on the nose, it looks like, is where it is. And the Lehigh fans giving a good hand to the freshman from Oklahoma State, Wes White.
Yeah, he got it right on the nose, on the inside.
Apparently, Larry, they did give a takedown there because 2 points went on the board for Lehigh.
Well,
so apparently they did give a takedown to Pendleton just before the injury. I thought that might be a takedown. So it's 8-6. And a quick escape. And Wes White doesn't waste any time in getting back into action. 9-6 favor of the Oklahoma State wrestler. Totally dominating the first period, actually, against Pendleton, and really...
Pendleton wants to go inside, but he blocks and pulls his elbows together and keeps him off balance. And he'll work short arm drags or take a hand and arm control from that position.
Yeah, I think Lane's got to be more aggressive out there.
Drives him down and goes over the top at that moment. So you watch from that position.
If another wrestler, Larry, senses that you are wrestling defensively, you're in deep trouble.
Yeah. Right here, he just goes down from that point. Keeps control of the hands and wrists. As you see, he's got him by the wrist, and then from there, will pull down on the head or jerk left or right. There's the head.
10 seconds, period running down, first period. Very quick on his feet, Wes White. Period will conclude 9-6.
That's only the first period.
In what could be one of the longest first periods we've seen in a long time. Save the famous Eastern first period, in which we saw Dan Rust of Syracuse wrestle for about 21 minutes years ago. Still remember that one from Princeton.
No, that's team score, son.
That was an injury again, where there was blood, and they just kept trying to patch Dan up. I don't know whether he ever won that or not, but it sure was a long one.
One.
Escape 10-6. Wes White of Oklahoma State in orange.
Pendleton goes in for a trip.
Now let's see if Pendleton can convert it, but he's way up high, and he's going to end up on the bottom of that. That was something else. Yeah, he looked like he had him, and he ended up on the bottom.
Well, the follow-up just didn't materialize. He tripped the leg, and this was, as you see, a Pete Yazzo special. Goes in on the arm drag, back heel trip, drops him, but the leg elevator by White just kept Pendleton off balance, and then he just came up and came out the back door. Now he's going to.
Wes White is an amazing wrestler, Larry. I mean, you find you're within a second or so of ending up on your back, and you turn it into 2 points for yourself that quickly.
One.
Well, you get counter wrestlers, and some wrestlers are great counter wrestlers. In other words,
Pendleton there was trying to take advantage of White maybe napping a little bit, and the Lehigh fans like that aggressive action. White looked like he was kind of resting after getting out of that hold, and Lane quickly tried to go after him. It didn't succeed, but the fans appreciate the effort. 12-7 lead for White of Oklahoma State in orange. Oklahoma State leading Lehigh Lehigh leading Oklahoma State 10-7 at the moment.
He's got Pendleton backing up, and then he just dives in like a cat and drills him.
14-7. 55 seconds to go in the second period.
So he's got to put on a couple of strong cross faces, working off that Turk ride on the outside leg. 43 seconds remaining. White 22-5. Pendleton 3-6.
Watch your arm.
Tom Whitman of Penn State defeated pinned Wes White Friday night.
There's going to be a penalty point, I believe.
It's also 1 point Lehigh.
That's right. He hit him.
Roughness.
It was deliberate and intentional because White was angry with Pendleton earlier. He took a chop.
I know, but you still can't react on him like that, okay? Shake hands, fellas. You guys just break clean on the whistle. Here we go, on your line. On line, skate.
So you're going to see some mean cross faces now, I can assure you. Yeah, White was upset at Penn State. He was not. He was predicted to win, and Whitman caught him and pancaked him twice. Now he's got Pendleton, but Pendleton slides the head out, and they go out of bounds. 3 seconds left.
Yeah, he was pinned by Whitman in 2:23 of the first period Friday night, which can't make him all that happy.
Starting to come through again.
And we've got the blood, as you can see, coming out of that nose cut.
I think Pendleton got a fat lip in that situation somewhere because he's got blood coming out of the side of his mouth. But if you want to pin back, if you got a moment, if you could spin back the calendar, or at least the tape, and off the mat where you saw the back of that rabbit punch that Wes White pulled on Pendleton, it was pretty obvious to everybody. That kind of shenanigans doesn't belong in wrestling. You must stay out of wrestling.
Let's take a look at that, Larry. All that action at the edge of the mat.
Now watch this. Watch the rabbit punch when he goes back in right here. Watch the hand to the back of the head. He said, here, I'll give you something right there. The right hand. He gave him an absolute chop over the back.
With the official looking right at you.
And he says, hey, he tackled me. But what Pendleton did, the whistle didn't blow. Pendleton was still in the white area of the mat. And he made an aggressive, offensive move to get a takedown. And he went out of bounds in his attempt. But this wrestler thought, hey, you can't do that to me. So he gives him a little chop. It's almost getting like basketball. I watched a little of that Villanova game. Not Villanova, Georgetown. Yeah, is Georgetown Villanova today? No, Georgetown Pittsburgh. And it was, whew, man, that's getting something. There's going to be more wrestling than there is basketball. We're back to patching the nose, something we've been doing for a long time.
Butterfly bandage trying to put on the nose there to
makes it a long night. Lehigh with one more dual meet left. That of course
against Edinburgh next weekend.
Edinburgh.
February 27th. And then the Eastern Championships again this time up at the Manley Fieldhouse in Syracuse. And we'll have the championships for you on March 13, Sunday morning, here on WLVT. And the following week, March 20, we'll have the PIAA championships. That will be from Hershey, Pennsylvania, in the Hershey Park Arena. So mark your TV viewing calendar for those dates. And we hope you'll be by your television.
It's even neutral.
Now we've got 3 seconds to go here, and in one of the longest second periods in captivity, and the period ends. It's 14-9 lead.
Choosing bottom.
For West White of Oklahoma State.
14-9 State, period 3.
Over
State on top.
Lane Pendleton of Lehigh.
You'll see some strong cross-facing coming up off a single wrist, working up high.
Pendleton's on his feet.
Put him easy.
Pendleton trying to come through. Pulls a rib muscle, I'm sure. Or something.
What is it? Leg?
Gee.
Rib. Okay.
He's
I'm
got a
telling
wrist.
you, Larry, this has got to be the longest.
You got it.
Rib.
And an injury now to Lane Pendleton is going to stop this match. Pendleton, however, is okay. Not much time exhausted.
You want me to tell you about some of my golf rounds down in Florida, Shell? Or
Not really, Larry.
Lehigh, don't move. Stayed on top.
I just want to
We
let
may
you
have
know.
you do your autobiography.
I just want to let you know that I'm hitting the ball very well off the tee.
Pendleton gets out, 14-10. Minute and 44 riding time advantage to the Oklahoma State wrestler. So Pendleton will have to have some aggressive
This is
action
where he
here.
goes over the top of Pendleton and shrugs him down. And then when he gets him in the down position, work off combination shrug left to right and trapping over the top of the arms. Pendleton tries to go in. Tries that leg
No,
grip
he did it again. He missed. Looked like he had an opportunity there, but now they're over and off.
Now Pendleton's becoming offensive, which is good.
That's it. If you gotta be, you gotta take to the offense. As we mentioned, if your opponent senses that you are wrestling defensively, he'll toy with you.
There's where he goes in that head combination. Kind of
When Pendleton gets aggressive, he kind of pulls out the stops. It gets unorthodox, but it certainly
better not to tie up. As soon as he gets inside, right there, the guy pulls down on the head,
Restart.
ties up the hands. 28 seconds left.
Joe C. yelling to his wrestler.
Guaranteed
30
time
seconds.
point for the Oklahoma State wrestler, so it's 15-10 at the moment, 5-point spread.
Near the edge, and off they go. 17 seconds. Good to see Roger Clough again this evening. Roger, the new college relations officer for Lehigh University's University's colleges.
Go side, go
And
side.
Ron Tico has taken over the job as Director of Sports Information
something on
for
it.
Lehigh
17
University,
seconds.
and we welcome Ron Tico to the job. Fine young
We
man.
got it.
We wish him great success in his new position here at the university.
Well, who's coming up next, Shell? Vince Silva?
Well,
And-
according to what we have, it'll be Tom Togus if Tom wrestles 158.
And he may not.
The Togus and Fleckman were kind of a toss-up. Watkins weighed in also, so we might see Watkins at 158, depending on Togus's ankle.
I think you're going to see Watkins because he's back there, and I don't see Togus at all warming up. Togus made weight. He had a tryout against Fleckman,
There you
defeated
see.
Fleckman.
See Roger Clough on the screen. Yeah, it looks like we definitely will have Chad Watkins going to wrestle for Lehigh at 58 because he is warming up and Togus is not.
Togus injured his foot, even though he made and defeated Fleckman in the tryout for 58. He's got a little ankle injury, and the coach wants to save him for Edinburgh and the Easterns. Tom is a two-time
online.
Eastern champion at 58, so he'll be in there trying to defend his title. Pendleton doing a very commendable roll, trying to come through, steps over, but over too high. It's put towards his back at the buzzer. And a 2-point, and that just enough for the 4-pointer. And it becomes 19-10.
19-10.
My It was a 4-point move, and it gave them just enough for that extra 4 points.
And with that victory, it's now 11 for Oklahoma State and 10 for Lehigh.